What is going on, YouTube? We just got back from Graham, Seattle, I guess, area. We got a new vehicle from Copart. It's a 2008 Jeep Compass, I think. Yeah, Jeep Compass. It says it's got 156,000 miles on it, guys. Check it out. So needs a little bit of a detail. It's not too bad. I've had worse, guys. Check it out. So it's got parts thrown back here. And so I bought this thing here for $800. Check it out. It's got a big old hole in the bumper. So definitely somebody took a shark bite out of that thing. We're gonna have to get that one replaced and repainted. Body's pretty straight. Let's check the trunk out, guys. I haven't even looked at this thing. I just drove to Graham, picked it up, and came back. So just got some random stuff in there, but it's actually not too beat up. There you go. This side does have a little bit of body damage here. Might have to get that repainted. And it looks like we got some damage here on the door too. So okay, I don't know if you guys can see it too well in the camera there, but other than that, so it said it ran and drove, guys. I ended up winning this one for, I think it was like $550 with fees and everything. It's about $800 out the door. So the battery's completely dead on it. I'm gonna go ahead and back up this Xterra. We'll put the jumper cables on there and see if we can get this thing to start, guys. Let's do it. Okay, so we got our jumper cables all hooked up here. Let's go ahead and give this thing a shot. So this is gonna be our first crank. We're gonna see what we get. So I said it was running driving. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, guys, she is knocking. Oh, she's got a good knock, man. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. Yeah. Definitely sounds like she has a rod knock, guys. So I'm gonna guess this engine's pretty much garbage. I might take the time to pull off the oil pan. Maybe we'll just spin a bearing in the thing and sell this thing for really cheap. I mean, it is a little bit higher mileage, but let's go and check it out a little bit. Oh, there she goes. I think she just seized up, guys. Died. Oh man, if she seized up, well then I guess that's a little bit worse, huh? Okay, so we got the Jeep on the lift. Obviously she needs an engine. It knocks, it rattles. The engine is no good, guys. So I ended up sourcing an engine. I went to my local U-Pull-It and they had it right here. So it was $380. Like I said, these engines are pretty cheap. This is just a 2.0 out of these Dodges. So if you ever run across one of those Dodges, generally you can find them pretty easy and pretty cheap. So let's get into the how-to of how we're gonna drop this thing. I'm gonna start by taking this air box off and probably lifting this thing up and draining my fluids, drain my oil, drain my coolant. So let's get to it, guys. Okay, so I just got my belt tool here, guys. So, and it's got a 16 on the end, and we're actually just gonna take off this, we're not gonna take it off, we're just gonna loosen up this top tensioner. So you just gotta torque it down like that, and then you should just be able to pull this belt off this bottom pulley here. And there you go. So once you get that off, you can go ahead and loosen up your crank bolt, take that bolt out, and then I'm going to be able to start loosening up all these 12 millimeters, I think, on this side for this AC compressor here. So looks like it's got 3 bolts or 4 bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off, get this AC compressor to hang down, unplug the connector, and then we can keep on going. Okay, so check it out. We got our bolts out of our AC compressor, so that thing's just out of the way. We also have our alternator up here, and it looks like we just got a power cord and one plug-in on that thing. So we're gonna go ahead and take off that power cord, unplug it, And then next step is going to be getting all your bolts out from around your bell housing. So it looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back here, and there's actually one right above the axle, so it's going to be 6 of them. You got to take off this little cover here, and then inside of there you're going to want to take off your torque converter bolts. So I want to say there's 4 of them on this engine. And then right after that, I'm just going to undo this exhaust. So there's 4 bolts right around that collector there, or that exhaust manifold, and we're just going to get all that done. So I'm going to put you guys on a quick time lapse so you guys can watch me do it, and we'll keep on going, guys. Okay guys, so just a quick recap here. We did take out that crank pulley bolt, we got the belt off with that tensioner, and then we also took off this bracket with the whole AC compressor. We unplugged the 2 connectors. There's one on your alternator, one on your AC compressor, and we also took off that power wire right there from the alternator. So then after that, we went ahead and went around our bell housing here. We took all our bolts. I still got to get one more that's up there above the axle. Got to grab a long extension to do that. And then we took off all of our torque converter bolts. So, and then lastly, we went ahead and loosened up our exhaust. You can see there's a gap there. So that just had 4 nuts going all the way around it. And I think that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for the bottom of this thing, guys. So there's not much to these little engines. The rest of it we got to do from the top. So that's all your bottom. Drain your fluids, take all that stuff off. Should be good to go until we get to the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower this thing back down. We'll start taking off the intake and all that air box and stuff. So one more thing I forgot to mention here, guys, on next to this transmission axle here, actually right behind it, there's this heat shield. You can see there it has 2 bolts on there. We actually got to take that one off, and there is a crank or some kind of sensor back there. So we got to unplug it, and you can see the harness kind of runs up that little heat shield. So we do got to take that one off from the bottom as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll swing right up to the top. Okay, so we ended up getting those 2 bolts out. What you do is kind of bend that heat shield out of the way, and you can see our sensor right there. So we're just going to go ahead and unplug that thing, and then we should be done with the bottom, guys. There it goes. Let's see. Just unclipped it like that. There you go. So now we're done with the bottom. We can swing up to the top. Oh, I lied. There's one more bolt hidden right there. So let me zip that bolt out, and then we'll go up to the top. Okay, you guys, I know it's getting a little bit dark out here, but kind of a little rundown on what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this battery out. I got to take out this air box, and then I'm going to go ahead and start undoing all this wire harness. So I got to unplug this harness from over here. Looks like we got to undo all the injectors and undo all these coils. So, and I'm probably just going to take those out completely. And then once we get this air box out of the way, I'm going to see how we can get this intake off. So I'm going to put you guys on a quick time lapse while I do all that, and then we'll get to the intake. Okay guys, so just a quick update. We do have to undo all the harness and get it to move out of the way, so I'll just kind of go over real quick where the connector's at. There's one back here, there's 2 down here, so you can get to this top one, but this bottom one you actually have to take the power steering pump off. So what I did was I just took out the 3 bolts from the mount, and then just kind of pulled it up and out of the way. It also had 1 bolt over here holding the line down, this metal line. So got that out of the way, then I was unable to clip that bottom one. You have 1 more plug-in down there on the side of the intake, right behind the power steering pump as well. And then obviously you got your 4 injectors and your 4 coils. So you're able to move that whole harness out of the way once you get all that off. So now that we got all that harness off the top of this intake, we're going to go ahead and loosen it. So you don't loosen up these 2 two top bolts here on the rail. They're actually right underneath it. If you look straight through there, you can see a bolt. And if you look straight through here, there's a leaf in the way, but I'll move that out of the way and there should be a bolt there. And then we got one down here. So, and then I think you're gonna have one more on each corner. So we got a nut there. You can see it there. And you got a nut over here. So let's go ahead and zip all those off and see how we can get this intake off. Okay guys, so it was just the 5 bolts. So you got a nut on the end, 3 bolts in the middle, and the other nut on the other end. So I did have to disconnect this vent or valve vacuum line. I disconnected it right there, right above the transmission, and there was one more bolt on a bracket down on the transmission next to the throttle body. I'll show you guys over here. See, it went straight through there, right next to the throttle body, and we had to unplug our throttle body and this I think valve motor here. So, and there's the connection on that other vacuum line. But other than that, it's pretty simple to take off, guys. It's just those 5 bolts again, one through each hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So next step is we're gonna actually go ahead and just undo the rest of this wire harness. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3 sensors, our starter, get that out of the way. And then I think it's just gonna be our top bell housing bolts. You get those underneath these coolant pipes. And then I'll just go ahead and undo our coolant lines. Looks like you got 2 from the heater core coming back there, and you got the 2 from the radiator, the upper and lower radiator hose. And then this motor should be ready to come out, guys. Okay, so we got our cherry picker all set up. I just use a ratchet strap. I've never had a problem with them. I've never had one break. So, and it's a lot harder hooking up the chain. And on this thing, you can obviously just wrap it around itself, or just hook it to some easy point to lift. Just make sure it's secure. But it looks like the next step here is to get this motor mount off. So we got 3 bolts going through there, and we got the one going through across. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip all 4 of those out, and then we're gonna just start lifting this thing up. Okay, so check it out, guys. We got the thing out of there. I don't know if you could tell very well, but it is a tight squeeze from this front here. It looks like I scratched it just a little bit, and this back firewall here, I also kind of ripped this little weather strip just a hair, but it does fit out of there. I mean, it's like super squeezed, but it might be a little bit easier if you take off this mounting bracket and this alternator. Probably give you a little bit more room to wiggle. And if you really want to get crazy, it'd probably be a lot easier if you took off this back exhaust manifold. But you know me, I'm kind of lazy, and I got it out just like that. Squeezed it, scratched the thing a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. It's not gonna hurt the value of the car, man. But you know the name of the game. We got to make this, or actually that engine over there in the corner, look like this one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip all the parts off of that one and put them on this one, or this one, and put them on that one. And then we're gonna pick it up and put it back in there, guys. So I'll put you guys on a quick time lapse while I do that, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so we got that old engine out, new engine in. As you can see, like I said earlier, it is a super tight squeeze getting that thing in and out of there. The hardest part is getting that oil filter stand to clear. So once you get that thing to clear, it kind of drops down in there, and then also you kind of got to pry on the engine a little bit this way so it slides down into the transmission with the flywheel and everything. But she's in place, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this thing back together. It goes back together the same way it came apart. So, you know, just start from where you ended and work your way backwards. But I'm trying to get this thing done today so I can send it off to detail. It is the weekend, and we're gonna see if we can get it done today. If everything wraps up and works out, then I'm gonna go ahead and take it on a test drive. You guys see me here in a bit. Okay, we got our jump box on there. Let's go ahead and jump in this thing, and hopefully she's gonna fire right up. Here we go, guys. Oh, prime the fuel pump a little bit. All right, here goes to the first startup. Woohoo! Oh man, that thing purrs like a kitten. We got a check engine light, ABS light, and an airbag light. Everything's on. So she's also lit up like a Christmas tree. But man, that engine sounds good. So let's go check it out, guys. Okay, she sounds good. She's not shaking, no misfires. So we'll just have to see what's going on with that check engine light and the airbag light. We might just have to clear them all because the battery was really dead, but then we'll take this thing for a test drive. So we ended up taking the Jeep Compass out for a test drive. The thing runs and drives great. So the only other problems I'm having is right now, I got it already taken apart. I kind of looked into it already. I'll give you guys a little rundown right now. But when I start the vehicle, we got an airbag light, an ABS light, and the ESP and a traction control light. So all these lights stay on. So I did go ahead and clear them, and the check engine light went away, but all the other ones stayed on. So I ended up looking into our airbag control module because I had a bunch of codes, and I already kind of started this, guys. So I don't know if you guys can see the pins are actually melted. So you can see that one looks green, and these ones here, these first four, are like burnt. So I think what ended up happening was at some point in time, this heater core started leaking. It looks like it's been replaced already, and it was dripping right on top of the module. So I went ahead and got a new module already from the junkyard, and I went and plugged it back in. Same thing happened, and then I realized that our connector was just toasted. So actually, even one of the wires just kind of came out of it there, you see. So I already started pulling some of these wires out. All I'm doing is depinning them from this one and putting them back into this one. And I think these four here I'm gonna have to just cut and butt connect with these ones here. So that's gonna be the rundown, and hopefully we get rid of all of our check engine lights and airbag lights and everything like that, and hopefully we can start driving this thing a little bit further. I went ahead and put a new module in it, replaced these two connectors. I had two of them, and let's give it a shot. See if hopefully this airbag light goes away, huh? Oh no. Well, it looks like everything's still on, guys, so let me keep on looking at this and then we'll go from there. Okay, so simple mistake. I actually forgot that I had unplugged the impact sensors because that was one of the codes it was originally throwing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clip that back on, and we'll give it another shot. Okay, so third time's a charm. Fire this bad boy up. So our airbag light is actually this one here. Let's watch it. And there she went away, guys. Heck yeah. So looks like we still got this traction control and ESP light. So I did go ahead and replace the clock spring because I thought the sensor was bad in that one, but apparently it's still on. So I might have to figure out what else is going on with it. Maybe there's another wire somewhere that's a little bit gummed up or something. But I'm gonna double check that and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so we're in the Jeep Compass right now. We're cruising her, guys. Look at it. No check engine light, no airbag light, no ABS light. Heck yeah, baby. So we ended up replacing that control module on the ABS unit and replacing the pigtail, and that fixed our airbag light. So we had no more airbag light, but then I also had a traction control and ESC, I think, light that was on. And it was actually on because the alignment was off. So I took it to a friend, he did a quick alignment on it, and as soon as we got it done, the light went away. It just turned off, went away. So, I mean, I guess it was as simple as just getting an alignment done. But things running and driving perfect now, guys. No knocks, no clunks, nothing like that. So I think she's gonna be lot ready here in maybe about another week. It does have some body work that needs to get addressed. So I've been looking for a rear bumper, but it looks like they're going for about $300 to $400, and I can't find a cheaper one. And then aside from that, I still got to pay the guy for the body work and paint. So I think this might just stay the way it is, and it might be just a quick, cheap sale. So sometimes when it comes into putting more money into the car, if I have to put more than another $1,000 or $2,000 into it, it might not be worth it for me. So I might just